So what is Wolverine about for you?
What it's about for me? Wolverine's the first character I ever played in America, the first film I got here. And I didn't know much about it. I didn't know much about the comic book. And I've sort of lucked upon an amazing character. I mean, forget the comic book history. He's just a really interesting guy. Yes, he has claws and he has this ability to heal himself. But finally, I think after 9-10 years, we have a movie where we get to really find out who he is, where he came from. And I just loved diving into this particular version. Felt as fresh as ever, you know. And I suppose the short answer is he's the character and the X-Men franchise is sort of the backbone of my career.
What's the difference between Wolverine in this film as opposed to other X-Men films?
For those who've never seen X-Men, Wolverine is a character who had no idea who he was, where he came from, how old he was, anything. He had this amnesia and nobody else knew either. So there was a lot of mystery about him. There was a sense of him being a little lost, as well as being quite tough and hard-edged and very much on the outer and distrustful. And in this movie, you kind of get to see how that came about. So to play him, I got to fill in all the dots. You see him evolve. Actually, you see him as a little kid. Might surprise people. He's almost quite timid as a kid. So you see how someone can evolve into a very tough shell and exterior that he has.
What challenges did you face shooting this film?
Many challenges. Every film has many challenges. I think, for me, I was very adamant. This is the producer in me talking, because I was one of the producers on the film. I was very adamant with everybody on the film that we were going to exceed. We needed to exceed people's expectations. We needed to show them this wasn't just some small little spin-off movie or X-Men 4 in disguise, that we were going in a new direction and that we were launching a new kind of journey. So in that way, physically, emotionally, story-wise, everything had to be deeper. This particular tank that you can see behind me, I spent about 3 days in there. That was pretty challenging, let me tell you.
And you had a special diet as well?
Yeah, I was... the character's fighting between the animal in him and the human in him. So he's constantly at war with himself. I really wanted him to look animalistic. I wanted him to look a little bit very powerful and dangerous at the same time, like an animal can. It's kind of awesome, but it's a little frightening when they're fired up. So I had a diet. I was eating a lot, but not a lot of the things I really wanted to eat. Been training very hard, and I had a good preparation time, almost a year before the film.
You say that you wanted the character to be animalistic, but usually most animals are pretty calm and gentle until they're provoked.
Yes.
And the real animal is the human.
Yeah, well...
That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's very interesting. You make an interesting point. Of course, while it seems quite extreme with him, the animal within him, is he an animal or is he a human? Obviously, it's complex because these are the kind of dilemmas, day-to-day dilemmas all of us face, you know? The chaos and control, the discipline or the freedom, the desire to do whatever I want to do, and the desire to kind of follow our responsibility and the duties that we have in society. So this is a war with all of us. And you're exactly right. The animal element of us is very much just as much a part of the human experience as anything else. And it can also be right for us, you know. Part of it is natural to us. I was just discussing with a friend of mine who has kids. He said, I'm not going to let my kids play football. I'm not going to let them play American. It's too rough. And I said, you know what? For boys in particular, I can tell as a boy, part of that is it's real. And if you don't let them do it on the field with referees and all that, they're going to be doing it on the street somewhere else, you know. Part of that is who we are. You know, we need to sometimes let loose and just be free and sometimes be a little bit crazy.
Yeah. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
My superpower? I think my character's got a pretty good one, which is he's able to heal himself. It would come in handy in Hollywood. for longevity. But the other one I'm very attracted to is the teleporting. Will.i.am's character in this, John Wraith, has the ability just to teleport, and the idea of never having to go through airport security again is something that I kind of dig. You understand what I'm talking about?
I do.
Or traffic jams. You know.